So today I have the pleasure of speaking with David. David, would you like to introduce yourself to the community and tell us a bit about your business?
Hi everyone, my name is David Rees and my trading name is Hull Rees Artist. Hull's my middle name. As you could tell from that, I'm an artist. I paint largely animals, but also people as well. As you can see from the examples behind me and some of the animal paintings that I've done. And I work both in this country and I also sell overseas as well.
Wow, amazing! And how did you get into running a business of painting animals and people?
Right. Well, I set up my own business in 2005, but that was I was in IT project management then. But I always had a desire to be a photographer. I started taking photographs when I was 7 years of age, believe it or not. And when I set up my business, I wanted to upskill myself to a point where I could get out of the project management and get into photography, which I duly did. And I worked as a family photographer based in Stafford, near where I live, until the pandemic. And of course, my studio then had to close for a period of time. Didn't realize how long it was going to be closed when it first happened. But I thought, well, what am I going to do with myself for? It was 3 months initially, wasn't it? Mm-hmm. I thought I'd get into something that I first heard of about 17 years ago and looked at then, but it wasn't really for me at that time. It was still fairly embryonic, and that is using a computer and computer software to paint in what, to all intents and purposes, looks like oils. So I looked at that. It had come on a lot in 17 years, as you can imagine, and was now feasible to get into. And I started these sort of paintings that you see behind me, 2 years last March or whatever it was when the thing started. And yeah, haven't looked back from there.
Amazing. What a great success story, and what a journey to go from one to the other to where you are today. Thank you. And do you have a favorite customer or a favorite story to tell us about kind of creating something?
Yeah, actually, one of the Action Coach community asked me to do a painting of her dogs, and I ended up managing to fit 3 different dogs into one painting for her, which she was delighted with, and gave me a very nice review on Trustpilot and on the Action Coach community as well. But it's a favourite story, partly because of the outcome, but partly also because, you know, we had lots of photographs of her dogs to choose from, mainly, well, entirely, I think, smartphone photographs that she'd taken herself. And we picked 3, one of each dog, and yeah, we both thought that they would work on the painting. And they were separate photographs taken at different times. And the reality was that when I painted the portrait, 2 of the paintings were 2 of the original images translated into paintings very well, but the 3rd didn't. But the joy of what I do is you can just swap it out and use a different photograph, and that's what we did. You know, we found another photograph that the person liked, and then that was a great result.
Amazing. Thank you for sharing. And talking of the Action Coach community and the Action Coach journey that you've been on, tell us about it. Tell us about kind of what successes you've had and how if it's changed your outlook and changed your results.
Oh, it certainly changed my outlook. Yeah. Like I say, I've been in business since 2005. I've worked in private industry for a lot longer than that. But running your own business is a different challenge. You go into it thinking you want to be a photographer, in my case, and thinking that's all about taking photographs, but it isn't. It's about running a business. Although I had some skills, I had big gaps in my knowledge as well. And being with Action Coach has certainly helped put this painting business on a firm foundation to move into the future. Definitely.
Amazing. I'm so glad that you've got the results that you had. And I remember a couple of weeks ago you saying that you've hit your target for the month ahead before you'd finished the month we were currently, before we hit halfway of the month previously.
Yes, that's right. So yeah, and that's in the summertime as well, obviously, which tends to be a quiet time. So I was pleased with that. Yeah.
No, amazing.
We're motoring into what some people call the gift season now, if you don't want to mention the C word.
Well, it's because everyone's taking all their photos in the summer now, so they're ready for you.
That's right. So yeah, things are picking up from here.
Amazing. Thank you so much for sharing. And what do you think, speaking of learnings as a business owner, what do you think your biggest learnings have been as you've had multiple businesses now?
I think, to be honest, that my biggest learning is learning itself, if that makes sense. You can never stop still. You can never stand still. I mean, there's an old saying, isn't it? You either grow or you die in business, and I think it's always been true, but these days, when goodness knows what's coming around the corner, you just have to keep on adapting, keep on learning. You can never say that your course is set for the next 5 years or something. It's just so dynamic, the environment and the economy at the moment, that you just have to keep adapting, keep learning, keep light on your feet, and yeah.
No, cool. And great advice for everybody, because it's so true. It's so right, just keep absorbing and changing your approach, and you'll get success that you deserve. So the next question is, if you were talking to your 18-year-old self, what advice would you give yourself?
Follow your dreams, but use that persistence to keep going, because not everything comes easily. Yeah.
Amazing.
What I'd say to myself.
Do you think you'd have listened at 18?
When I was 18.
Say again, sorry?
It feels like a long time ago when I was 18.
Just a few yesterdays.
Just a few.
Thank you. And do you think you'd have listened to yourself, or do you have kind of gone, no, I know what I'm doing?
Yeah, I think I would have listened to myself, actually. I'm not just saying that. I felt that I can remember feeling at the time that I might have known the next step, but I didn't know beyond the next step. At 18, I was preparing to go to university and do a geography degree, which I really enjoyed. I thought that was fantastic. But I very quickly learned that a geography degree, when it comes to getting a job, is about as much use as a chocolate teapot. So, what do I do next? And I ended up in engineering, which is sort of like totally different.
What a career you've had then, and it's great to know that you've ended up in that place of what you dreamed to do. Yeah,
that's right. Yeah, like I say, I first picked up a camera when I was about 7 years of age. I borrowed one on a holiday to London and took the obligatory, photographs of Nelson's Column leaning over at about 30-degree angle, and I was bitten by the bug and have been ever since.
Amazing. It's so good. Thank you. And then my next question, what inspires you today? Where do you find your inspiration?
That's a good question. I suppose it's achieving the goals that I've set for myself in business, and personally as well. But a lot of my focus now is on creating a really successful business, and that's why I get up in the morning.
Yeah, No,
I could have retired by now, but I'm still going, and I'll be going in for a good while yet. And it's because I want to achieve certain things in business.
no, amazing. And I'm so glad that you're part of our family and part of the tribe, that we can help you on that journey.
Indeed, that's much appreciated.
It's a pleasure, more than a pleasure. And then my last question, David, today is is there any offers or promotions that you'd like to include in the newsletter that goes to the community?
Yeah, sure. If anybody responds to me and mentions this interview, I'd be quite happy to give them a 10% discount on a portrait.
Amazing. Thank you so much. That finishes our interview. What a great job.